Hello everybody, Boodlyneck here. It's time for another Mods of the Week. This week's shoutout comes from my Discord. So I asked yesterday who wanted a shoutout, and Upsidekin suggested Koro Maru. So this is the first ever double shoutout. I like to shout out to Upsidekin for suggesting Koro Maru. That was very cool of him, and he was absolutely right. If you look at the leaderboards from my Discord, Koro is absolutely smashing it. So I want to say thank you, Koro, for being a legend and for hanging out with me in Discord all the time. And thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing. All right, like always, we have 10 fantastic mods to go over. Let's get to them. Eidolon is a Forge 116 mod that adds a fairly in-depth magic system to Minecraft. It has touches of alchemy, theurgy, necromancy, soul manipulation, and even adds some new mobs. As you begin your journey into this dark world of magic, you should craft yourself an Ars Ecclesia. This book contains all the knowledge you need to gain supreme power. You'll find yourself performing rituals to extract the souls of mobs that you can then use to summon hostile mobs, lure in friendly mobs, and even control time itself, among many other feats. You can also craft some new interesting items, like the Pickaxe of Inversion, that can mine faster the harder the block is. You can make the Sword of Sapping that applies a wither effect that heals you for any wither damage done. There are a couple of powerful wands that make great ranged weapons. There's an amulet that can store HP when you're at full health and then heals you with the stored health when you're hurt. And there's the prestigious palm that can double the distance that you can reach. There's also an entire altar system where you can perform sacrifices and pray to dark gods to gain their knowledge. This is already a pretty large mod, and I've barely touched on what they've added, and the developer says they have some pretty neat plans for the future. Enchantment Lore is a Fabric 116 mod that allows you to open enchanted books and read about the enchantment. Each book contains a description of the enchantment, the math and how it works, and some very well-written lore. This is another one of those mods that, without a doubt, should be part of vanilla Minecraft. Not only is this a very intuitive way for new players to learn about enchantments and how they work, but the developers have taken the time and care to write some good lore that actually make these fun to read. Moon and Space Dimensions is a Fabric 116 mod that adds the moon and everything you need to survive life in space. This mod also makes it easy for anyone to add their own dimensions with space survival elements. Each dimension can have its own gravity and skybox, and can also require oxygen to survive. Using the Ender Beamer base and the Ender Beamer, you can travel through space and dimensions, using the position of the sky to determine your location. When you're ready to do some space travel, make sure you have a protective suit equipped and loaded with oxygen, and maybe bring a slow fall potion and Totem of Undying just in case. At locations that don't have oxygen, you can use the panel blocks combined with a life support generator to create an airtight, oxygen-rich living space. Currently, the moon is the only new destination added by this mod. It has low gravity, no oxygen, and it is loaded with iron. I'm really looking forward to seeing what some creative mod pack developers do with this awesome new tool. Supernatural Crops is a Fabric 116 mod that aims to make a more balanced fabric version of mystical agriculture. To get started in growing ores, you'll need to go to the end and get some Seed of the Abyss from Embedded Abyss. Surround these seeds with the ore of your choice to make bush seeds. Finally, use a netherite hoe to scrape stone to create a plantable area for your bushes, and use lava in place of water. And once your bushes have grown, you can right-click to collect your ores. Currently, this mod doesn't support other modded ores, but they plan to in the future. Not Enough Creativity is a Forge 112 and 116 mod that greatly improves the Minecraft creative experience. With this mod installed, you simply click the Switch to Creative Plus button to access all the new features. You're probably going to want JEI in cheat mode while using Creative Plus because they get rid of Vanilla's item lookup features in favor of a bigger inventory. Located on top of the bigger inventory, you can find some buttons to toggle some pretty nifty features. Long Reach will increase your reach from 4 to 12 blocks. No Clip will disable all collisions as if you were in spectator mode. Night Vision makes all blocks full bright. Pick Swap moves items to the upper inventory instead of deleting them when you pick block, and also removes the first matching item in the upper inventory if you have one. No Break Delay gives you Instamine. Allow Damage will show your health bar and enable damage, but you still can't die. Instant Kill increases your damage so you can get rid of mobs with a single punch and suppresses all mob drops. No Item Pickup prevents any items from being picked up so your inventory doesn't get cluttered. And Dark Mode makes everything better, like it always does. On top of all this, they've also switched to a server-sided inventory and pick block, which should fix a lot of glitches on servers. Monsters in the Closet is a simple Fabric 116 mod that highlights any mobs that are preventing you from sleeping. The mobs are only highlighted for 3 seconds each time you try to sleep, but this should be good enough to locate and hunt down any mobs trying to keep you up all night. If you install this mod in your client, it should work on any servers that you play on, and if it is installed on a server, it will work for all players, even if the players don't have the mod installed. Refabricated Slabs is a Fabric 116 mod that allows you to mix and match slabs however you like. This is pretty much a Fabric version of Double Slabs, if you know what that mod is, and I usually try to get a Double Slabs mod in any pack that I make. They're just nice for building, and as far as I know, this is the only current Fabric version that doesn't cause crashes. Although I have noticed that Hwyla doesn't work on stacked slabs, and you can't pick block stacked slabs either. The Outer End is a Forge 116 mod that adds new biomes, structures, and mobs to the end dimension. The first thing you're probably going to notice with this mod installed is the Ender Dragon's health has been increased to 500 health as opposed to the normal vanilla 200 health. This feature is configurable and you can set the Ender Dragon to have anything from 1 to 10,000 health. Once you've beat the Ender Dragon, you're likely to come across purple golems when you get near end cities. These guys will pummel you and toss you away if you get too close, and they drop purple blocks if you beat them. Next, let's take a look at the Azure Forest, a new end biome loaded with giant flowers. Here you can find the Spectral Fly, a new passive mob fluttering around that likes to hang out on top of the flowers. Finally, let's check out an end tower. These structures have a unique look and contain an enormous labyrinth underneath, filled with loot, endermen, and spawner rooms that spawn the last new mob, the Himmelite. These little guys are fast and will swarm and bite you and are usually guarding some loot chests. Make sure you thoroughly explore any end tower that you find, because if you do find the treasure room, it can pay off pretty big. Slimy Chunks is a Forge 116 mod that adds a lot of slime-related features. It adds a slime chunk sensor that glows if you're in a slime chunk. There's Slimy Carpet that negates all fall damage. It adds a slime pad that propels almost anything into the air, and twice as far if it's on a redstone block. If a player uses a slime pad, the player picks it up as they get launched. You can also right-click the pad to lock it in position if you don't want it to get picked up. You can craft a slimy stick that has some major knockback to send mobs and other players flying. This mod also adds some new foods that give some useful effects. Slimes can now drop many more items. Some of the more interesting ones are slimy swords and slimy rods. Slimy rods are broken fishing rods that come with corrosive strikes too, a new enchantment that does some pretty decent poison damage. They can also drop slimy shovels that come with the new Slime Hunter enchantment, which allows you to dig up slimes while you're in swamp biomes. They can drop pieces of slimy armor with random enchantments. Some of the possible enchantments are new and only available on slimy armor. Helmets can get ceiling clinger, which allows you to stick to ceilings. You have to sneak to fall down. The chest plates can get wall strider, which gives slow fall when a solid block is next to you. The leggings can get soft fall, which negates all fall damage. And the boots can get jump boost, which gives jump boost too. Majrusz's Progressive Difficulty is a Forge 116 mod that focuses on making Minecraft more difficult based on your current progress. Currently, it consists of 3 difficulty levels: Normal, Expert, and Master. Normal is what a world starts in and currently makes a few changes to the game. Skeletons and zombies can spawn in packs with a leader and 1 to 3 sidekicks. On the mod's page, it says creepers can spawn with negative effects that leave an area effect cloud behind when they explode. I wasn't able to find one that did this, and it says creepers can spawn charged. I also couldn't find one of these. It's not listed as a change, but a lot more mobs seem to spawn with armor and weapons. And finally, fall damage causes slowness and nausea. Expert mode starts when the first player enters the Nether, and the changes that this cause are a 25% chance for double loot and extra experience. Enemies have a 25% bonus to health and damage, which doubles at night. Illusioners and giants can spawn during the night. There's a new aggressive mob, the Pillager's Wolf, that can spawn during the day, and pillagers can spawn with these wolves. Spiders have a chance to poison enemies. Piglins can spawn in groups with a leader and 1 to 3 sidekicks. And it's not listed on the mods page, but apparently zombies can spawn in the Nether too. And Master mode starts when the Ender Dragon is defeated, and it increases the chance for double loot by another 50%, bringing the total chance to 75%. The bonus to experience is increased by 25%, bringing it to 50% more XP. And enemies have another 25% bonus to health and damage, bringing their total to 50%, and it still doubles at nighttime, making it a 100% increase. And that's all the time we have for this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and for sticking around to the very end. I need to give an extra big thank you to my Patreon supporters. Their names are up on the screen right now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a fantastic time making it. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do. Hit that like button down below. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed yet. Keep playing, keep having fun. We will see you guys next time.